Hey, how are you all? Good to see you back for another. I don't even know what day it is. Wednesday for you, I guess. Thursday for me. Very strange. After we hopped off the air yesterday, I was like, "Oh, we're gonna get a big press conference." They found the body of Samantha Murphy, but they didn't find her body as such. But we're gonna go into that in a minute. I want to say hello to everyone. I'm thinking everyone is on verdict watch right now. I know that. I watched the end of the closing arguments with Daybell about what was it, about 3 hours ago. It was riveting stuff, is how I would put it. Very riveting watching. Although Justin Lum did a good job on Fox 10 in Arizona. How are you all? Hey DJ, good to see you. Shasta, good to have you. Laurie says, anyone watch the Daybell triple murder trail? I don't know about the trail, but I do know about the trial. The trail might be a different one. Juniper, hey, how are you? Betty C, how are you? Good to have you. Yeah. DJ says you have to sit in your assigned seating. Hey, Kaliza Cats, how are you? Oh, we have some updates for the YouTube channel, although it's sort of a partial update. Because we went over 900, we were able to apply for the YouTube Partner Program. So I got that email last night. I applied for it already today, but I am still waiting to get approved. So it might be a while, it might be a few weeks, it might be a couple of months. I have no idea how long it takes, but once it's eventually approved, you guys should have memberships, super chats, things like that. So finally, but I think we still have to hit that 1K to get some other stuff. So we'll see what happens, but it was an interesting email. Hey Reby, how are you? How is China? Okay, Angela. Let me see what you guys are up to. Annika's here, retired RN. Hey, how are you? Yep, another Maria and Mamma Mia. By the way, I was so full of cold and flu medicine yesterday. I completely forgot to say thank you to Lynn D. Lynn D sent in a donation like 2 days ago, and I had it on my list, and for some reason, I just turned the stream off. Thanked 3 other people and not her. So, Lynn, I am so sorry, and thank you very much for your donation and that kind message. She sent a very kind message saying she hoped I was feeling better, and I am a little bit, not that much, but all right, let's get set up. Let's get set up. Let's talk about Samantha Murphy first, and then we can do American stuff. Let me spin around here. Let me spin around. All right, there we go. Hey guys, how are you? Hey, good to see you. I'm here. I didn't die, I promise. I'm still here. I'm still here. So yeah, yesterday they were searching this dam area. You can see in this photo. That's a very poor photo of it. There's the dam in the background there. So they were searching this, and then they came across this. Looks like a mobile phone inside a wallet cover, and there's some footage around of all the cops high-fiving and hugging, and they're all like, "This is the greatest day in our careers," and they all seemed very relieved that they'd found it. So I think everyone is assuming it is 100% probably her phone because, yeah, they looked very happy. But I also read it wasn't a cop who found it as such, although these things are they are part of the force. It was one of the technology dogs, those dogs that can sniff out electronics. Apparently, it was the officer who found the mobile phone. It was all in the mud. So that brings us to another issue. They're saying now the chances of that mobile phone working is could be very slim. There you go. There's the guy with the dog. I don't know which one that one is. They had two. See, there's the other one. They had the black labby and the white lab out there yesterday. They got little boots on. He's got little boots to protect his feet. So the problem is, if this dam has been much higher for a period of time, and only recently has it started to recede, well, the water line has started to go down. This thing could have been underwater for 12 weeks or 2.5 months or something. A long time for a phone like that to be in water and hopefully still, I don't know, get data off it, tracking data. I I don't know, but they did not find her. And then as of this morning, the police were asked whether they were going to go back out there today and search the property, further for her. And the answer is no. They are not going to be doing any more searches at this location. So it almost feels like to me they knew that there was something here, possibly a mobile phone, but knew it may not be her because they didn't seem, oh my God, the phone's here. Maybe she's here. It wasn't like that. It was like they found the phone, they all high fived, and that was it. It was almost like, oh, okay, we came and got what we wanted to. So I don't know where they still got to find her. Still got to find Samantha Murphy. There you go. There's that cop looking at it again. I have no idea what is crazy, but okay. Let me see if I can find you the little update for it so I don't have to keep talking. Hold on. Maybe this one.
We're here today to talk about the investigation into missing person Samantha Murphy, who was last seen at 7 a.m.
No, that's all right. Bloody hell. Harold Sun like to throw random music into their videos. All right, hold on. Let me get you a better one. Yeah, there we go.
Police have made a breakthrough in their investigation into the murder of Samantha Murphy.
As sniffer dogs uncovered a mobile phone in a dam while searching a Buninyong property not far from the towers that recorded the last ping from the Ballarat mum's device. Laura Turner has more.
A police sniffer dog, the hero in a harrowing search. A mobile phone uncovered from the mud beside a dam. A closer look shows the phone inside a wallet with identification cards still inside. Police appearing to celebrate with pats for the dog and hugs for each other after the discovery near Slaughterhouse Road, south of Buninyong.
Is it somebody else's? Is it a passerby? Is it a bushwalker that may have been in the area? Well, these are the things that has to be identified.
Police divers arriving late this afternoon to further investigate the dam, which is on a lifestyle farm at Durham Lead.
They will obviously get the IT experts to download everything from that phone and determine if that is going to be or forensic value.
An excavator was brought in too to clear the scrub, which hugs the fence line along the Buninyong Mount Mercer Road.
It could take a number of days for them to completely search that area and make sure they have recovered everything.
The property owner has told Nine News that the water level in this dam hasn't been this low in at least 6 months. And he was actually warned by police about 2 weeks ago that they would be searching properties along this road in connection to Samantha Murphy. Today's search is roughly 5 kilometres south of where Samantha's phone last pinged to a mobile phone tower and just over 7 kilometres from where the alleged killer, Patrick Stevenson, was arrested on March 6. Metal detectors were also used to scour the water.
I suppose they'd be looking any, as long as they're not deteriorated, any calls that have been made on that phone. Maybe when the time it was turned off.
The mother of 3 hasn't been seen since she went for a jog in the Canadian State Forest on the morning of February 4. 22-year-old Patrick Oren Stevenson was charged with her murder, but is understood to not be cooperating with the investigation. Divers surfacing as light faded this afternoon on what could be a huge breakthrough in this tragic case.
Does it put Samantha in that area? Possibly not. It may do, it may not, but always going in with an open mind.
And Laura Turner joins us now live from the new search area. Laura, will those divers return there tomorrow?
Alicia, they've told me that they actually set aside about 3 days to search this dam and the surrounding land around it initially, but they've cleared it far earlier than anticipated. So they have now cleared this dam. They will not be returning here tomorrow. They said that they will regroup tonight and decide where to now for this investigation, which of course remains open as they search for the body of Samantha Murphy. Alicia.
Yeah, so that they've not come back. They've finished that particular search effort. And where do we go from here? I don't know. How many more areas can they think of to try and find her? Maybe the phone will be able to lead them to another location. Like, you don't know if he got rid of the phone before getting rid of her, after. Maybe they'll be able to pinpoint where the phone sort of went from where she was jogging to the dam. We'll see if they can pull any data off it, get it to the phone techs, and see what kind of magic they can work with it. It's a hard one though, especially when it's been out in the elements right near water for, a long time. It could be just completely stuffed and you can't get anything off it. These are electronic devices, unless they're waterproof, they deteriorate I think some of these phones are rated for like 1 day underwater. So, after that point, water starts getting into the device, and then you get rust, and then you get, you know, other type of breakdown of electronics. But maybe they can pull it apart. I've seen sometimes they can actually pull it apart, just get the data storage and go through that. But there's other tricks too. You could actually take the parts you need and implant them onto another donor device that has the same motherboard, and then you can pull data off the phone that way. Because if the components on the one that you have are no good, but you still got a couple of the chips that control the phone, you can transfer them and put them onto a donor device. Maybe they'll do that. We'll find out. Well, it depends. Some of these phones have built-in memory, and then some of them have ones where you can insert external memory, like an iPhone. I don't think an iPhone has any external memory. It's all internal on the device, so it's not like you can just remove it by clicking it out. You have to desolder the entire board to take the chip off. So, but yeah, sort of what I was talking about. You can just remove a couple of things, put them on a fresh phone of the same type, and see if you can get it running. But the other thing being that it's an Apple, they may actually need Apple's help because they have their own tech to do work on Apple phones. A lot of their stuff is tied down, and you can only validate repairs if you are a authorized Apple repairer. If you try and do the work yourself, it won't turn back on properly. It may not even register the part correctly. So it's not like working on a Samsung. They are completely different. You can do what you want. Apples are a little more locked down, unfortunately. All right, there's your update for Samantha Murphy. Everyone was in a bit of a, you know, hysterics yesterday. They thought the phone is there. Maybe she's like, not too far away, but nope, didn't unfortunately happen that way. She's still out there somewhere. So, all right, do you guys? What I'll do is I'll do a little bit of Daybell, but not much. I'll cover what happened today, and then we'll keep going. I've got other stories I'd like to do. Hold on. All right, I was trying to see if I could find a very small update video for you. Hold on. I figure most everyone has watched it, but 9 hours ago. It was a long day in court today. Yeah.
Jurors have been deliberating for about an hour and a half in the Chad Daybell triple murder trial. He's the man accused of killing his wife of nearly 30 years, Tammy, and two of his new wife's kids, JJ and Tylee. State of Idaho gave its closing statement first today. Prosecuting attorney Lindsay Blake went through a timeline of Chad and Lori's relationship and how they started an affair after meeting at a conference in 2018. Blake said the couple thought that Tammy, JJ, and Tylee were dark spirits or zombies that they had to get rid of. She also argued that Chad is the mastermind behind the crimes, not Lori, and not Lori's brother, Alex Cox, who is now dead.
Joshua Jackson Vallow and Tylee Ryan were found buried in the defendant's backyard. Tammy Daybell was found dead in their marital bed. And for what? Money, power, and sex. That's what the defendant cared about.
Defense attorney John Pryor pushed back on that. He said the state didn't give any proof that there was an agreement between Chad, Lori, and Alex to kill the kids and Tammy. He blamed Lori and Alex.
You don't go being married for 29 or 30 years with nothing as much as a speeding ticket on your record. And then you marry someone who, what are you, afraid of me? And 5 husbands later, no DNA. These officers failed this investigation. They absolutely failed in their investigation looking up the facts of this case.
Jurors could come back with a verdict tonight, or they could continue to deliberate into tomorrow. They'll need to reach a verdict on all charges, which include conspiracy, murder, and insurance fraud. And our Abby Davis is inside the Ada County Courthouse waiting for that verdict. So we will keep in touch with her as our team continues to follow this. She is standing by at the courthouse, and we will bring you any breaking up.
So like he said, they've been sequestered, which I don't think they did for Lori Vallow, right? They sent them home the night that Lori's trial finished. They went out to dinner, and everyone thought they were going to deliberate after dinner, but then they just went, "Oh, nah, they've gone home for the night. They just want to rest and try again tomorrow." And that verdict came back pretty quick, right? I think the same morning or only a couple of hours. It wasn't very long. This one, the fact that they actually sequestered them, which means they basically have to stay together, very interesting. Very. I didn't think they would do that, but we're going to be on verdict watch for, could be tonight, could be tomorrow morning. It's going to be a long haul, but after, what is it, 8 weeks of different specialists and police officers, evidence on that bloody monitor, and it's been a long trial, and even longer for the family. I mean, they went through one trial last year. This is part 2, and then they've got another one in Arizona whenever that happens. It's been a long haul for everyone involved. I reckon once this verdict comes in, the police officers and the DA who prosecuted it, they're going to be very happy to not have it closed, but just not have to keep putting this through the court system. First thing tomorrow, I mean, I feel like the fact that you went through such a long trial, almost 8 weeks, there's a lot of things to discuss with each other, but they may have already a fair idea of how and what each other think on the charges. I mean, they do sort of talk here and there. They've spent a lot of time near each other. You can't help but get to sort of know each other, right? I suspect it'll probably go pretty quick. Yeah, it's been a hard trial, especially just the splitting of the trials between Laurie and Chad, I think made it even harder on everyone. But you got to remember, this is a death penalty trial as well. If he's convicted on all these charges, he could get death in his sentencing. He could get it. It could be, you know, could be the end for him. Well, I don't know. Maybe he'll see through his own veil and see his own future. Who knows? You never know what Chad Daybell is thinking. I know, yeah, what was it? It wasn't that many? I knew it was like 60 something. It was a lot. I think how many did Pryor call? I think it was like 11. I think he had 11 witnesses to call. State had over 60, and the defense only had 11. That's not that many, including 2 of his children. So, uh, yeah, the storms in the US have been insane. All right, Sienna. Hey, Miss Sharon, how are you? You know, I haven't seen my friend Nancy S in here. Is she here tonight? No, I don't see her. She might be off watching Daybell. All right, well, there's your little Daybell update. So keep your eyes out, keep your eyes peeled. You might get an update at some point in the next 24 hours. It could happen at 2 a.m. in the morning. Who knows? Yeah, there's not much likable about Chad Daybell at all. Okay. I have another story for you. Let's move on. I want to show you something. I found this very interesting. I was researching a different story and I came across this. Authorities seize over 50 pounds of weed on Mississippi interstate. That is a lot of marijuana. It doesn't even look real. It looks like something out of a movie. That is a lot of weed just to have in your back seat. They're saying here, I'm not even going to pronounce this person's name. Is it Tajai Davis, 21 of Loganville, Georgia, and Callie Pussy, 23 of Covington, Georgia, are accused of drug trafficking after a traffic stop on Interstate 22 in Mississippi. Over 50 pounds of marijuana was found in their vehicle. When narcotics officers made the stop, they smelled the odor of marijuana, and upon searching, this is what they found. They said, "This is nothing new for our department. We've had several 150-pound, 230-pound drug busts in the last few months." They said, they're running dope pretty good from other places down that main 4-lane highway. The sheriff has increased patrols on roads like Interstate 22 to make law enforcement presence known and to attempt to stop drug trafficking. Well, they don't seem that scared of the increased presence on the highway because look, this is like a laughable amount of marijuana. It's almost like you could swim in it in a bathtub. That is a lot of dope. So there you go. They busted these 2 guys pretty young, 21 and 23. That is not very old. I don't know what did they get done with. It doesn't say, but probably some sort of possession of, commercial level marijuana, schedule whatever drug. James Avery says guilty late tomorrow. That's a pretty good guess. Hey, Nancy Freeman, how are you? Good to see you. Getting ready for sleep. You got to be up and early for jury watch in the morning. How's Kresha doing? Is she live? I saw her post before. It says Kresha K. Easton is live. Verdict Watch, Doomsday Prophet, Chad Daybell, Murder Trial, Verdict Watch, and Discuss. So that's her live stream. I don't know if it's still on. I just got a notification for it. All right, let's keep going. I have another story about someone who murdered. Oh, Interesting. That is very interesting. I may have some good news for you in a minute. Hold on. But that's not the story I wanted. Hold on, ladies and gentlemen. This is what we want to talk about. But I had a good video for you. Hold on. David Pagiano. All right.
It is a life sentence with no possibility of parole for the Prescott husband and father who buried his wife alive 7 years ago.
Just before his trial started, David Pagiano pleaded guilty for the 2017 murder of his wife. And tonight, one of the lead detectives on this case revealing more in an exclusive interview. True crime correspondent Brianna Whitney got that interview for us.
Yeah, this is such an unusual case, and it is so sad. As far as homicides go, this one is particularly heinous and rare. Detectives believe Sandra Pagiano was alive and suffered in a grave before she died. One of the lead detectives says, though there is some comfort in justice, this crime is impossible to process and impossible to forget. Replaying what happened to Sandra Pagiano is a painful thought for the detective who stood at the crime scene this time not long ago.
We believe that it happened overnight 7 years ago today in the early hours.
Yavapai County Sheriff Sergeant Jack Maddox says it all began when Sandra Pagiano went missing from her Prescott home while her young kids and husband, David Pagiano, were inside.
She had supposedly just left or disappeared, but he still was not calling in the report.
Instead, one of Sandra's friends called in a missing persons report, saying it was completely out of character for her to willingly leave. A mother very involved in her kids' lives and with the community. David showed police 2 notes reportedly handwritten and left behind by Sandra. One to her kids saying she had to leave, and the other to David, leaving him all of her property and belongings.
The handwriting analysis showed that those notes were in fact written by him.
With David as a person of interest, Maddox says they gathered enough cell phone evidence that put him in the place Sandra Pagiano's body would ultimately be found, in a hand-dug grave.
She was also bound around the mouth and around the head so that she would presumably be unable to make any noise. She was alive at the time that she was buried.
Horrifically, evidence showed she was likely conscious for up to 5 minutes after she was buried. The Yavapai County Sheriff's Office charged David Pagiano with first-degree murder, and the county attorney was pursuing the death penalty. But on the eve of his trial, David decided to plead guilty and let the judge decide his fate. He was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. Detective Maddox believes avoiding trial may protect their kids from more harm. He says they were 8 and 12 years old at the time their mother was killed.
It spares all of them having to relive all of those details.
Maddox says while justice is finally served, there are certain cases that stick with you forever. For him, this is one of them.
There are things that you experience that you think you'd never be able to experience something worse, and then along comes something like this.
In addition to the life sentence, David Pagiano was also sentenced to an additional 16.5 years in prison for kidnapping Sandra, forging those notes, and fraud schemes. He will die behind bars, no parole.
Disturbing case. Why did it?
I don't think you can get a more just verdict than for someone who did something as heinous as this guy. Then you hear the words, "He'll die behind bars." I mean, it has a ring to it, especially when someone is, done what he did. So it says here, and then I'll play the rest of it. He's been sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole for the 2017 death of his wife, who was buried alive in a hand-dug grave near their home while their children slept. I mean, you have to be a special type of monster to do that while your children are in the home. It says 7 years after the murder, David decided to plead guilty before his trial was scheduled to start and allowed a judge to determine his sentence without a plea agreement. So basically, he was a coward. He didn't want to go to full trial with the jury, and at the very last possible moment, he pled guilty to get out of that. That's the only reason. I don't believe it was for, he didn't feel bad. He didn't want his kids not to go through it. It was for his own selfish reasons, hoping that by pleading guilty at the last moment, it might spare him, something, but also an 8-week trial. It says here he was sentenced on May 9th to 16.5-year prison term for kidnapping, forgery, and fraud. So there's already 17 years. And then he got life in prison. So he's never coming out. It says here, Sandra, his wife, was kidnapped from her home while her children slept nearby, bound in packing tape, driven to a remote location, and buried alive. The evidence revealed she vigorously struggled while she was in the grave and was likely conscious for up to 5 minutes after being buried. I mean, that is a cruel way of hurting someone, burying her basically alive, and she's basically suffocating in that grave before he damaged her even more. Says here, authorities said the 39-year-old Sandra disappeared while she's in the process of divorcing her husband in May 2017. She and David were separated, but still lived in the same home with 2 of their young daughters. Sandra's body was found bound and gagged in packing tape inside a grave in a rural area north of Prescott, and the county medical examiner's office confirmed she had been buried alive. They may have been able to tell she had like dirt and dust in her airway. That's maybe what they were able to confirm it like that. County sheriff's officials said cell phone evidence showed David was at the gravesite in the areas days before his wife went missing and the night of the kidnapping. Deputies recovered 2 notes that were filed in the divorce case after Sandra's disappearance, purportedly written by her. Yeah, those are those notes in that video they were talking about. The note said she was leaving David and giving him her vehicles, house, and custody of their children. Yeah, I know that often happens. It seems realistic. I'm leaving and divorcing your ass, but you just keep everything valuable, including the children. It's okay. Don't worry about me. That doesn't seem realistic at all. It says here, a grand jury indicted him on a charge of first-degree murder after his wife's body was discovered in a remote area 10 miles northwest of the couple's home near Prescott in north-central Arizona. They said here, I hope the life sentence brings some closure to the victim's family. I hope so too. Here's his ugly mug. Enjoy your prison sentence for the rest of your life. Here, I'll put it on the screen. Where is his ugly face? Come here. There you go. Enjoy your prison sentence, sir. It is the most dangerous time for a woman to leave, right? Anytime you have a separation in a relationship, women are multiples more likely to end up injured, dead, or as the victim of domestic violence. So it's horrible. It really is. We'll watch the rest of that little video. Hold on. Where is it?
Take so long to get a conviction 7 years later?
I don't know. I don't know what the delay was in that time frame. Justice system was slow. Obviously, we had COVID that had delays in every county around here, but I don't know why it took that long to get to trial. And then, of course, they prepare for trial, right? And a first-degree murder trial is always the hardest to prepare for. It typically takes years. There's so much evidence to go through, a lot of witnesses to interview, and they get there with all that work, and then he decides to take the plea deal the night before that trial began. That's pretty rare. Usually there's a decision made before that.
And you said the lawyers think this is the best move to avoid a trial for the kids, but they're what, 15 and 19 years old? They know exactly what's going on here.
They should be now. Yeah, these ages are just awful because they were young but old enough to know.
Yeah,
and so
definitely
now
they know.
Absolutely. And so I think in looking at, death penalty versus not, that sergeant was saying, well, a trial they would have had to reopen and relive those wounds, but also they already lost one parent. If there's any sort of relationship to be had with him and these kids, he will be in prison to do so. So
just a terrible situation.
Oh my gosh, but buried alive, that's the first time I've ever covered something like that.
And then still alive 5 minutes afterwards. Just can't get any worse than that, for sure. Brianna, thank you.
He's one of the most popular members of the Wise County Sheriff's Office.
He loves to work.
Was that a sniffer dog? Look at this. It's a sniffer dog. Look.
His name is Boone, and he's a 1-year-old bloodhound canine.
That dog is just motivated.
I like him. His name is Boone.
And has the abilities to just hit a track and go straight to it.
Sergeant Michael Tabor is Boone's handler.
With the dog, you've got you're on call 24/7.
And the two are always ready to go.
Ready to go?
I love it. His name is Boone, and he's a like a bloodhound. He's a dog. Hey Reby, I just had a nightmare bike ride to get to a cafe. Well, that's what happens in China. Hey. Oh. There we go. I must have tapped it when I whacked it before. There we go. Let's see. I was saying to this comment, James Avery said, afraid of the death penalty, imagine waiting out years in hell, or waiting out eternity in hell. I was saying, well, that's just his second sentence. He has to go to do whatever this sentence may be, and then he can go through the portal and end up with the other one. We got no audio still? All right, hold on. All right, hold on. Hmm. What is going on with this microphone tonight? It's very sensitive. It's very sensitive. Oh, yeah, I see. It's on now. Oh, we're having one of those nights. Okay. All right, shall we go for a different one now? There was a little update on that. They're looking for that woman I told you about, a woman who gave birth on the banks of the river. Well, yesterday they closed up an area thinking they had found a burial site. They thought it was actually maybe a baby, but it wasn't. It ended up being someone had buried a cat, an animal, at the river. It's very odd. So we had a lady who gave birth on the river. Then they're searching for the mum and the baby. They think they find a burial site, but they find a cat instead. I'm going to show it to you. Hold on. All right, let me see if I can find the video that I want. They said New South Wales police confirm sex of baby after mum child go missing amid riverbank discovery. I don't know how that works. Can they tell from the placenta if it's a boy or a girl? They said New South Wales police say an umbilical cord which was recently found on the banks of a Sydney river belonged to a baby boy. Authorities continue to hold serious welfare concerns and remain on the search for the baby and his mother after an umbilical cord and placenta were found by a dog walker at the Cooks River in Earlwood about 4:30 p.m. on Monday. Forensic testing has confirmed the baby is a boy, and Strike Force Wagonia detectives are continuing to investigate the incident. Police have yet to confirm whether the birth occurred on the riverbank or elsewhere. So what did she do? Give birth, carry the baby, the cord, and the placenta to the river, cut it, and then just throw the placenta and cord into the river, and just like sort of very Titanic. Instead of throwing the locket, she threw a placenta. She's like, just be free now. I don't know. It's a little odd. So you can hear them searching the Cooks River. Let me grab the video though. Nope, that's not it. Here.
We begin tonight with an appeal from our police to a mother after a troubling discovery on the banks of the Cooks River at Earlwood. An umbilical cord and placenta were found in muddy mangroves. Police hold grave concerns for the mum and the newborn's welfare, but stress she's not in trouble.
Beside the Cooks River at Earlwood, police wade through the mangroves after a dog walker stumbled upon a placenta and umbilical cord in the muddy riverbank, but no sign of the mother or her newborn.
I hope they're all right in case something happened to the young child.
This is a really quiet sort of area, even though there's a lot of people moving around, running and doing exercise and walking dogs and that. I don't know, it's just bizarre.
It would have been a very lonely and difficult delivery if the baby was born on the water's edge. And with no recent reports of mothers arriving at hospital shortly after giving birth, there's genuine concern for their welfare.
There's a lot of unknowns at the moment, but that's why we're asking anyone with information to please help us with this investigation, because we do have extreme concern for our mother and her baby.
This morning, a blood detection dog was brought to the scene while police conducted a line search, uncovering a second possible area of interest not far from where the placenta was found, but it was quickly discounted. The placenta and umbilical cord are now with pathologists, which detectives hope will tell them the gestation and gender of the child and how long they may have been by the river.
There is no judgment. They need to know that we are concerned for them.
You're not in trouble. You don't have to talk to the police. The only thing I ask that you do is make your way to one of our hospitals.
In Earlwood, Kate Creedon, 9 News.
So there's no law, I don't think, that she has broken by giving birth near a river. Like they said, she doesn't have to talk to the police. She can go to a hospital and seek medical help, but I think they just want to confirm that she's okay. That's basically all they want to do. It's happened before. There's been a few other times. But then I'll show you this. It says, police looking for a mother and a baby after an umbilical cord and placenta were discovered on a muddy riverbank have called off? No, that's not the right way to say that. Daily Mail. It says they have curtained off a section of their search after digging. Well, I guess they have called off a section of their search. All right, fine. They have called off a section of their search after digging up a dead cat. Officers identified a new site of interest near the bank of the Cooks River in Earlwood in Sydney on Tuesday and put up a blue tarpaulin in the belief new material might be found there. However, searchers later uncovered a freshly buried dead cat, leading cops to declare a false alarm. Why? Why would there be a dead cat there? I think the bigger mystery is not who gave birth to the baby, it's who killed the cat and buried it near the river. That's the one we need to sleuth on. We need to sleuth who killed the cat and buried it right there. It seems a bit coincidental that placenta was found, dead cat. I mean, they said the cat was buried, so someone buried it. So it's not like they were like, "Oh, I'm going to give poor Sooty the burial that he deserves. He always loved this river." Most people just bury their cats in the backyard or something like that. Not down by the river. It's a little odd. You can see here, like, this is not someone's backyard. This is a public area. It's a little weird. Unless someone found a cat and it was dead, and they were like, "Oh, I should bury this," and they did it out of kindness to the animal. Says here, what? Oh, they're saying a local resident called Tony found the umbilical cord and the placenta hidden in shrubs near the river about 4:30 p.m. on Monday while he was walking his dog. He said it was just sitting on top of the mud. The water was quite a distance away. Mr. Robinson, a father, said he recognized the placenta and the umbilical cord. He says, "I've seen 3 births, so you kind of know what you're looking at." I'd hope so after 3 births. I really would, sir. He says, "I couldn't think what else it could be. It looked about the right size for a human. My wife took a photo of it and we called the police." Why'd you take a photo of it? Are you scared it was going to disappear? I'm confused. Did you want to post it on social media? Or were you like, maybe the cops would ring me and be like, before we come out there, is this a prank call? No? Can you send us a photo of the placenta? I mean, I think that's maybe, I don't know if they'd do that. So they said here, New South Wales police are continuing to investigate the incident and hold concerns for the safety of the mother and her child, who we now know is a young baby boy. Police have urged the woman to go to the nearest hospital and seek medical attention for herself and the baby. You know, I know there's a lot of things that can go wrong in childbirth, and babies can die, and girls can get, different medical things they need to get fixed or whatever. But women have been giving birth for thousands of years on Earth. You know, there's people that do it at home in like bathtubs and inflatable pools, and we have tribes people who give birth in the Amazon. So she's probably all right, but probably a good idea still to go to the hospital. The placenta is high in protein. Wild animals would love to have gotten a hold of it. It's lucky we don't have any, like, what do you guys call them? Those big cats in America. What do you call it? A cougar. We don't have any cougars here. Oh boy, Bullseye. Giddy up. How are you, Bullseye? Really? I think isn't that supposed to be like the honor of the male? The male gets to cut the umbilical cord. I got to admit, I'd be pretty freaked out too. I'd just be like, am I cutting it? Is it in the right place? Where do these scissors go? Just point the scissors and tell me where to cut while my eyes are closed. I'm good if we do it like that. That's it. That's the only way I could do it. It used to be okay, maybe. Hey, Marilyn Landis, how are you? Uh, since yesterday, though, no update on if they figured out who the mum is or anything. New details emerge. Yeah, that's all. New details emerge. That's it. That's it. Just that they know it's a baby boy. And yeah, so this is something they're worried about. They said the possibility the child was disposed of in the river will form part of the police investigation. However, there is no evidence to suggest a child has been harmed at this stage. The main concern is the health of the mother and the child, and they urge both to come forward and seek support. As you can see them searching down in the riverbank down there. So it's sort of a remote area. I mean, it's a bit of a ways down, isn't it, to get down there? Interesting. They're also asking anyone with CCTV footage or information about the incident to contact Burwood Police or Crime Stoppers on 1-800-333-000. And they said officers are appealing for anyone who lives or was present in the following areas who may have seen a pregnant woman or a woman in distress on Monday to contact authorities. They said Wardell Road near Lang Road in Earlwood, Tennant Parade in Hurlston Park, and Ewan Park in Hurlston Park. So you in any of those three areas and you saw anything? Let them know. Let them know on 1-800-333-000. I mean, I think they just want to find the mum and make sure she's not needs medical attention or that type of thing. Yeah, not Alana. I'm sick to death of Daybell's crap. Sick of it. Be done already. I think a lot of people. Well, actually, I'll give you another scenario. Imagine you're on the jury for the Daybell trial. Now tell me how tired and exhausted you feel. I think if you're on that jury, you're like, "Oh my god, thank god they sequestered us. Thank god I need to go up to my hotel room and have a nap. It's been a long 8 weeks. How long until we can tell them our verdict? I just want to go home." It's a long trial for them. Danny Mitchell said, "Is there no Miss Trisha tonight? They are not doing a show tonight. I spoke to her about a couple of hours ago. I think she is burnt out. I think she's been doing the trial throughout the day, and I think she's like, I'm going to sequester myself to no YouTube tonight." So she's often, I don't know what she's doing. Something. Probably playing with Scrappy Joe and the pug dog. Yeah, I forgot that it is CrimeCon. Oh, I totally forgot that it's tomorrow. Is it tomorrow? Oh, it is too. Damn, I forgot that. I'm not going, so I didn't even realize. And as far as I know, they're not doing online streaming again. I think it's ridiculous in this day and age to not have an online stream. They did it during the pandemic, and as soon as the pandemic was finished, they just were like, "Nah, we're not going to do that anymore." And then last year they gave us like 3 panels on Fox Nation, which no one has access to. Like if you have a subscription to Fox Nation, let me know. I bet you there's probably like 3 people that have it. It's not a common streaming platform. So annoying. I probably won't get to see any of the panels, but, I hope she has fun in Nashville. She's gonna have a, a booth this time. She's going to have like a thing where you guys can go and talk to her and say hello to her and talk to her about Othram. Well, go to CrimeCon. Go say hello to Trish. She'll be there. She'll have a table. Go be friends with her and buy her a drink. Remember, she doesn't drink, so you have to buy her something like soda water because she don't drink. So all right, we'll see what we can do with CrimeCon over the weekend, but they're not live streaming, so I don't know what I'm supposed to do with that. Actually, let's have a look. Hold on. Yeah, I don't believe they are. Let's have a look. They said, talk to us closer to the event, and then we'll tell you whether we're going to do live streaming. But I don't see anything. CrimeCon on demand. The only way to watch... Yeah, see, there you go. The only way to watch the 250 hours of CrimeCon session videos is with Crime HQ. CrimeCon 2024 session videos will be posted after the con. So, all right. They're just not going to do it. Have to wait till later on. Hey, Crime Online is now a sponsor. Yeah. Let's see, Nashville. Yeah, there's no live stream ticket, so I don't know. We'll have to wait till later. Is that what they're asking for this year? $400? It's a good event. I mean, the panels are amazing. If you can go see people like Dave and Kristen from Othram, they always put on a crazy good panel. Maybe Paul Holes will be there. He does a good one every year. Hey JDR, how are you? Well, she's going out there, so I don't know what she's going to do from CrimeCon, but follow her and see what she does. She hasn't told me anything yet, so I don't know. It might be just us for a couple of days until she gets down there, so you may just have me for a little while. All right, let's see if I can get you another story. Come on. If it's just us, we better make it good. Apparently, jury begins deliberations in Mr. Donald Trump's hush money trial too. So if you like political trials, there's that one as well is in jury watch as well. Oh, I like this. Let's listen to this one. Hold on. People who kill their husbands. Why can I not find a local news? Okay, here we go. Says here, is it Minnow? Minnow woman charged changes plea to guilty for fatally poisoning boyfriend over scam $30 million inheritance. A plea agreement has been reached in a case where police say a 48-year-old woman charged with fatally poisoning her boyfriend was done in the hopes of stealing his sizable inheritance. Says, is her name Ina or Ina of Minnow? I'm going to pronounce all these wrong. Changed her plea to guilty of murder and extreme indifference to human life at her pretrial conference on Wednesday. According to the affidavit, she was arrested after poisoning 51-year-old Stephen Riley Jr. with antifreeze on the belief that she would inherit more than $30 million upon his death. that inheritance turned out to be a scam. Riley died on September 5th of last year by ethylene glycol poisoning, according to the coroner's report. A sentencing date for the murder charge has been set for August 13, once pre-sentencing investigation and mental health evaluation is complete. Here's a photo of her. I want to find a little bit more about her, though. Hold on. 51-year-old Stephen Riley Jr. Let's see if we got this one.
A Minot woman accused of fatally poisoning her boyfriend will remain in custody on a $1 million bond. Investigators saying she gave the man a toxic dose of antifreeze because she thought she would inherit millions of dollars upon his death in what prosecutors are calling an intentional and heinous act. Prosecutors charged 47-year-old Ina Knoyer with double felony murder in the death of 51-year-old Stephen Riley Jr. In a criminal affidavit, friends of Riley's came forward believing Knoyer poisoned Riley, and further tests of his body revealed a toxic amount of a chemical commonly found in antifreeze. Investigators say they believe Knoyer falsely thought she would get half of a $30 million inheritance due to common law marriage, where state recognizes people as married even though they don't have a marriage license. Common law marriages are not recognized in North Dakota. Minot Police Captain Dale Plessis says it was a complex case that required a team effort.
There was quite a bit of effort put in. There were two main detectives that worked on this case, and they did a fantastic job of following up on all the details.
Now, Knoyer will be arraigned on the charge December 7th. She faces the chance of life in prison without parole if she's convicted.
He's one of the most popular members of the Wise County Sheriff's Office.
He loves to work.
What's with the puppy dogs? Every time you watch a video, there's a puppy dog. Look, he's back again. What's his name? He has a good name.
His name is Boone.
There you go. His name is Boone. We just watched this before. They just want to show us Boone. Apparently, he is the star of the show. Hey, Kim, how are you, my friend? What people will do for money, even fake money. That guy didn't have $30 million in health insurance or whatever. It was a scam, and she committed murder. He sort of invited it on himself in a way. He tried to impress her by saying, "Oh, I've got $30 million in life insurance." And she's like, "Great, I'm going to kill you and murder you for it." And then she did it, and then there was no such thing. No money. Police have said they believe the inheritance likely never existed. But she believed, oh no, both Riley and Ina believed the inheritance was real. Both the victim and Ina believed that the $30 million was real. To our knowledge, that $30 million doesn't exist. We have nothing to indicate that there was a long-lost relative who got an email from a Nigerian, prince in Africa who needed them to transfer $20,000, and in exchange, he will give you, 500 blocks of gold bullion. Someone must have got an email, because who is this long lost relative that wanted to give them $30 million? I mean, it doesn't happen very often. It just seems to only happen in spam Gmail. That's about it. Oh, cat versus puppy fight. Are you running your own animal sort of fight club, Emily Narb? Is that what's going on? I wonder. Princess Marlene? All right. Yeah, can't believe people fall for that. I get them all the time in my email. They're like, "Dear Sir Ping, I am, Chancellor Christolios from the fourth realm of the Nigerian Lord, and I have a, deal for you. If you transfer us $20,000 for a holding fee, we can give you $94 million in US currency. And I'm like, why would I have to pay you to give me money? You can just give me money. Like, if you want to do that, that's fine. I'm not going to stop you from giving me $94 million. But why would I give you 20 grand? For what reason? It doesn't make any sense. And there's no thing in the world where they're like, well, yes, we can give you millions of dollars, but, you know, you have to pay a fee for it. I don't think it works like that. They're always like, my money is tied up in a Swiss bank account that requires a fee to have the money released. But, you know, I don't have the fee. I don't have the money because I put every bit of my money, 94 million US dollars, in that bank account. So I need someone else to give me 20 grand to pay the bank fees. Why wouldn't they just take your bank fees from the money you already put in there? That's how sort of banks work. They don't go, yes, we have your money now. We're going to hold it hostage unless you get us 20 grand. Call Liam Nelson if you have to. He'll find it. Whoever you have to call. It's very silly. I haven't read any pet stories. I was away this week being sick. I didn't do any this week, but I will. I will do pet stories in the coming days. I'll catch up and do a couple. No, we didn't do a Sunday show this week. None. We didn't do one. I was away for like 4 days with this bloody flu. Thank you, Danny. I appreciate that. So it looks like I told you guys about the YouTube partner program before. It looks like we got our second part approved and we're waiting on the final step from YouTube to review the channel. And as soon as that's done, we should have all the options in the chat for you. All right. Thanks, Danny. I appreciate it. All right. Let's do one more. Let's not talk about this lady with her crazy antifreeze. Why do they always go to antifreeze? They're always like, yes, I know what will do it. Let me go to the garage and get antifreeze. It's like, you know, could have used something nicer, you know, heroin or something. I mean, at least he'll feel good before you kill him. He's not going to be like, oh my God, my whole body's being poisoned from antifreeze. All right, let's get another one. Let's get another one. Oh, I don't know this one. Who sent me something about a little boy? Stephen Bryan? Why does that sound familiar? Stephen Bryan? Hold on. Mooresville police turn over new leads in... Oh, he went missing a long time ago. Okay. Let's have a look. It says investigators in Mooresville have turned over new leads in the case of a missing 5-year-old boy. Stephen Bryan was the subject of a silver alert in August 2022 when he was 3 years old at the time. Authorities said he was believed to be in the company of his mother, Deborah, and her boyfriend, Caleb. Stephen was last seen in Mooresville in June 9th, 2022. He disappeared when his biological father was supposed to visit him. A warrant has been issued for Deborah's arrest. She is charged with interfering with custody. Here's a photo of the three of them, the mother, her boyfriend, and the missing boy. What a cute little kid. It says the police said their investigation remains active. New information has been turned over to Indiana State Police, or the ISP. A cold case is when you have nothing else to go on and you are done and nobody is working on it. We're working on it, according to the chief, Kerry Buckner. We don't have a bunch of cases sitting around waiting to be working. We are actively working on this case. It is not cold. It is still being worked on. Anyone with information should contact Crime Stoppers at 137-262-8477. Oh, okay. I don't remember when this little boy went missing. Let's have a look. Let's see if I can find his original article. Let's see if we can find like a news headline. No, I can't though. Stephen Bryan, silver alert. All right. Doesn't seem to be a lot of media about him. Yeah, just a bunch of sort of like crap links. This is the original article from 2022, August 27, but there's not really any information in it. It just says he's missing, he's part of a silver alert. Stephen is described as being 3 feet 5 inches tall, 32 pounds, and has brown hair with blue eyes. ISP says Caleb, which is the mother's boyfriend, is 6 feet tall, 225 pounds. He has brown hair, brown hair, and brown eyes. Deborah is 5'8", 135 pounds with brown hair and hazel eyes. They believe Deborah was traveling in a silver 2020 Toyota RAV4 SUV with Indiana state plate VSH 490. And that's it. That's it. That's it. That's all I have. I can't play you a video or anything. It looks like they haven't done one. Let's have a look at this. The Allen County coroner has shared the cause and manner of death of a 61-year-old woman who was found dead in the front yard of a home in February. Is this the lady who was found dead on the front porch? Remember that story? I think that was Mississippi. They found a woman on the front porch of a home, and when they spoke to the homeowner was like, "Oh yeah, she's been there for a couple of days. Oh, I didn't bother to check on her. I just, thought she was fine." And the police is like, "Yeah, she's been dead for like 3 days." And then I think they may have arrested the homeowner at one point. I'll have to look that up. They said the Allen County Sheriff's Department says a woman found unresponsive in the front yard of a home along. No, police released no further. Okay. They said 5 days later, the coroner formally identified the woman as 61-year-old Sheila Louise Snyder, but said her cause and manner of death were pending. The coroner on Thursday announced that her cause of death was blunt force injuries of the head, and the manner of death was ruled as an accident. An accident? Okay. The incident remains under investigation at time of this report. So did she fall and then something fell on her, or somehow she got enough severe head injuries that she died? Let's see.
We now know the name of a Roanoke woman found dead in the yard of a home. The Allen County coroner says 61-year-old Sheila Snyder was found at the home along a Boyd Road just before noon Thursday. The Allen County Sheriff's Department calling her death suspicious. No word on the cause of death. If you have any information, you're asked to call police.
That was the quickest video ever. I had to adjust the microphone. I was like, oh, that'll give me a chance to do that.
We now know the
Hold on, let me get out of this. Let's see if we can find anything about this woman. Cause of death. WANE TV.
The Allen County coroner ruled the death of a woman found in her front yard in Roanoke as accidental. In February, 61-year-old Sheila Snyder was found unconscious in her front yard in the 10,000 block of Boyd Road. Medics later pronounced her dead. Police said the circumstances around her death were suspicious. Over 3 months later, the coroner said she died of blunt force injuries to the head and it was accidental. The coroner does say her death remains under investigation.
If AC
Now, it's very interesting. I'd like to find out how you just get such severe head injuries that you randomly die like that. But apparently they don't know. She was found unresponsive in the front yard of a home along the road. Yeah. So they said originally that the cause of death was suspicious, but now they're just saying it's an accident. Okay. Well, I guess that's how it's got to be. Actually, I want to look up the one in Alabama for you. I think someone in chat said it was Alabama. Let's have a look. Yes, it was Alabama. Let me look up the one of the lady found on the porch. Hold on. I don't know if it's going to play it. Is this the same one? Woman found dead on porch. Oh, she was identified. Let's see. So they're saying it was in the 4400 block of 44th Avenue North. She's been identified by the Jefferson County Coroner's Office as 41-year-old Rosa Alvarez Lopez. While on the scene, officers noted Lopez had visible signs of trauma. Police say someone found her and called 911. The police believe it was not a random incident. No one has been taken into custody. That was that article, but 7 days ago.
Is WVTM 13. Breaking news is happening right now.
And welcome in a homicide investigation in the Inglenook area of Birmingham.
WVTM 13's Jarvis Robertson live and local. What do we know right now, Jarvis?
Well, Brittany and Guy, this is still very much an active scene right now. You can see here behind me, Birmingham police, they do have a portion of 44th Avenue blocked off. They are focusing their investigation on the particular gray home that you probably can't see. It's a little bit further back. Now, police told us that this all started sometime just before 2 o'clock this afternoon. They received a call about a person on a front porch that was unresponsive. And when Birmingham police arrived on scene and Birmingham Fire and Rescue, they did pronounce that person dead. Now, we are not clear if this is a shooting, a stabbing, or if the person was possibly beat to death. But Officer Truman Fitzgerald, PIO, he did say that the victim did have signs of blunt force trauma. I tried to get him to tell us what exactly it was. He said they were holding off on that information right now for their investigation. Officers, they are still canvassing through the area, talking to neighbors. I did ask him if witnesses were being cooperative, because just last week we heard the mayor say that they've seen a problem where some of the witnesses that are privy to these.
Weird. Both of them are weird. Yeah, the first one was suspicious originally. Then they said it was accidental, and they said that she had major head trauma. This one was a different woman that was like a week or two ago. They said it was a homicide, and her name is 41-year-old Rosa Alvarez Lopez, and she was found with visible trauma on a porch of a home. Only 7 days ago, apparently. "21st of May, they reckon." Okay, CBS. Let me see if I can get a different video for you. Alabama.com. Let's have a look. Yeah, 41-year-old identified as woman found slain on the porch of an Inglenook home. And then that's that same scene from the video. It doesn't say what. Here, authorities have not said how the woman was killed or when she was killed. Police previously said she could have been on the front porch for up to a couple of days. Then the officers said this did not just happen. That's what they were saying in the original article, that she had been there for a while and people in the neighborhood had actually seen this woman just lying on the porch and no one called it in. They were just like, it's just an old woman having a nap. Like, if you see someone there in the afternoon and then you come back later in the night and you're like, hey, she's still there. And then you come back in the morning and she's still there, you should probably call someone and be like, hey, one of my neighbors is not moving and she's been there all day. I don't know. It's a bit odd. They said, we do not think this was a random incident. We think it's isolated and our detectives are working to get the person responsible for this into custody. They said people do live out the house, but Fitzgerald couldn't speculate on why the residents had either not seen the dead woman on the porch or called 911. He said, this is an interesting side to the story, and our detectives have asked us to hold off on that. That's right. We were talking about it. We're like, wait, why would they not tell us the circumstances about who lives in the home and what the connection to the victim is? And they still haven't. This article is not been updated. So, I don't know. I know only as much as you do. The Somerton man? Haven't they already like identified him like about 5 times and each time it's been disproven or whatever? There's a whole bunch of people trying to figure out who that is. Last I heard, I thought they were doing DNA tests or genealogy or something. They'll get it eventually. All right. What time is it? 12:22. You know, I think we will do a late show today, although I don't have to. I don't know what you're pointing at, Moonlight View. Oh, you're pointing at this? Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. They do not know who he is. Yeah, they don't know, but they're trying to figure it out. All right. Hold on. Give me 1 second, people. So apparently, breaking news in the Samantha Murphy case, they have confirmed that that phone is her phone. They said a phone uncovered by police during a search for the body of missing mother Samantha Murphy does belong to the missing mum. Sources have told the media. So they're definitely saying that they believe this to be her phone now. Yeah, I mean, that always seemed very likely, and with how excited the detectives were yesterday afternoon, like they were high-fiving and they were hugging and they were like, "Oh my God," they're all like jumping in the air. They were all really excited. It seemed most likely they knew what they were looking for, and it seemed like a very targeted search for something. And they were obviously had a feeling it was there. Yeah, there was cards and credit cards and things like that. They would have known very quickly if it was hers. It's sort of like one of those wallet cases. They also found other items, but they haven't released at this point what those items are. As far as I know, there you go. There's a close-up photo of the phone wallet thing. Hey, Kathy Lynch, how are you? Good to see you. By the way, Kathy Lynch, thank you very much for your monthly membership donation. I appreciate that. It's very kind of you. It's very kind. Appreciate your support of the channel. Oh, you're gonna go. Oh, you're gonna be in Melbourne for a few hours tomorrow. That's pretty cool. I wish I could meet you, but I can't. But if you come back down for the trial, I'll come and hang out with you. Finally got a break after so many months, I know. Wait, who? Who am I seeing? You mean Reby? I can't tomorrow, but when she comes down for the trial, if she comes down for the trial, I will. I will see her. I was just hoping, hold on, before we wrap up for this show, I'm going to be back in about an hour and a half, and we're going to do a late show, but I just want to check something. Where is it? I was hoping we might have got done before we hopped off tonight, but it might be by the time the next time we do a show. Next time we do a show, you should see more of the options in the chat, like super chats and things like that. It's in progress, it says. I didn't see you here tonight. Hey, Peekaboo Cockatiel, how are you? Ah, fair enough. Thank you. I appreciate that. All right, maybe we can do one more. Hold on. But that's pretty good breaking news. The wallet is Samantha Murphy's. That is some good news. Suspect in stabbing spree. Okay. Let's see what this is about.
Evaluating Mr. Rosa today, I did review the so-called lamb warning.
26-year-old Jared Ravisa appearing in court, accused of stabbing 2 McDonald's employees in Plymouth with a large kitchen knife.
When you have a situation where somebody is allegedly just stabbing individuals with knives because they don't get what they want at a drive-through restaurant, that's an issue that needs to be dealt with, I think, immediately.
The Route 3 McDonald's was just one stop on what officials are describing as a day-long crime spree.
The defendant allegedly stabbed 4 young females at a movie theater in Braintree. He is also sought in connection with a homicide investigation in Connecticut.
The string of erratic incidents leading the court to do a mental evaluation on Ravisa.
Doctor, did you have the opportunity to interview Jared Ravisa?
Dr. Kimberly Bistis says Ravisa showed signs of serious delusions, like believing his family is involved with the mafia and being controlled by multiple sources outside of himself that at times make him angry and upset.
This has culminated in what appears to be a very serious thought disorder in which he is evidencing signs and symptoms of an active psychotic illness.
Ravisa will undergo a 20-day evaluation at Bridgewater State Hospital. Their doctors will determine his competency and criminal responsibility. We're live in Plymouth.
So let me read a bit more about this fella, if I can find it. Might be this one. It says, new details revealed about Massachusetts stabbing spree. Suspect wanted in Connecticut homicide. Suspect held without bail sent to state hospital. It says, a Martha's Vineyard man who was accused of going on a stabbing spree along the south shore of Massachusetts and wanted in connection with a Connecticut homicide is being held without bail after appearing in court on Tuesday, where a judge ordered that he be sent to a state hospital for evaluation. Jared Ravisa, 26, of Chilmark, faces multiple charges in the Plymouth District Court, including 2 counts of assault and battery with a dangerous weapon, and assault with intent to murder in connection with the stabbing of 2 employees at a rest area McDonald's on Saturday. He also faces 4 counts of assault to murder and 4 counts of assault and battery with a dangerous weapon. It's in connection to the stabbing of 4 girls in a movie theater on the same day. Wow, he really did go on a stabbing spree. Connecticut State Police said the charges are pending in the case of a homicide that was also discovered on Saturday. He wore no shoes Tuesday morning as troopers escorted him to court, where after a brief hearing, the mental health evaluation was ordered. After a few hours, a doctor told the court that he does appear to have delusions, trouble focusing, and voices in his head that tell him to do things. He was sent to Bridgewater State Hospital for additional evaluation over the next 20 days. It says the district attorney Tom Cruise said Ravisa is next scheduled to appear in court on June 17. Look at this. This is his whole thing here. At 3:36 p.m., Connecticut State Police responded to a reported disturbance, and that a victim later identified as Bruce Feldman, 70, was pronounced dead at the scene. Then, about 6 p.m. on the same day, he stabbed 4 girls aged between 9 and 17 inside an AMC movie theater. Jeez, and then he stabbed a bunch of other people at a McDonald's, and then he crashed a car, and then, jeez. How many bloody people did he stab? There's 4, 5, 6, 7, and then he killed someone. So 7 plus 1 murder? That's a lot of stabbing in one day. Let's play this video of him leaving court. Oh, he has the crazy eyes. Look at him. He really does have that look. Be interesting what they say after the 20-day. What? Weird. Hey, Alicia, how are you? That sounds like a long day for you, Sherry. A long day. All right, there you go. He's done. He
From
is
above,
done.
Sky 5 showing you just how much of Pleasant Street is actually missing. And that sinkhole is easily 15 feet deep. Now, I just spoke to Mayor Dean Mazzarella. I asked.
I thought that looked like some sort of attraction. I was like, oh, this looks like a theme park that has a house and water running under it. No, this is actually like someone's suburb that has had. Is this like rainwater that's burst
How
into?
long it will take to fix this? He told me the city should have a better idea later this evening, but he's guessing it will take about a week to get Pleasant Street back open to traffic.
That's bonkers. Look at that. There is no more sidewalk. The sidewalk fell in and they've put this temporary structure over the top. And this all this water has swept away the road, almost swept away this poor person's home. It looks like it's gone through the road and then under this home on the corner. That is terrible.
Absolutely horrible. The road just completely collapsed and it just kept getting worse.
I've been here for 6 years. I've never seen anything like this. Not during the ice storm, nothing. Nothing like this ever. This isn't a flood zone. I don't know what people are going to do because I don't know if the insurance is going to cover it.
He walked around and just, wow.
That's a lot of damage, isn't that? Look at that. Even train tracks.
Here on the Fitchburg line, and you can see there's no body of water beyond that. There is a culvert, but there was so much rain so quickly last night, it pushed out all the dirt, all the rocks. There's bricks all over the street here. It came underneath there, washed everything but the railroad tracks and ties away. There's a couple of houses here, cars covered with what appears to be a shed. It is a mess here in
Shows you the force of water. Once water gets rolling and you get a lot of it, it just nothing stops it. What state? It must be Massachusetts, right? I don't know. It doesn't say. Hold on. WCVB.
Leominster this afternoon.
I mean, Derek, obviously we have a list of 50 to 75 houses that need to be as well as our local. Most importantly, we want people to be safe.
I'm not sure. I'm guessing it's local, but let's see. Massachusetts flooding. Yeah, possibly. They had spring storms over there. Yeah, okay. NBC Boston. Okay. They had something up there for this town. Let's have a look.
Building after really severe flooding kind of left a path of destruction through that town late last year.
Yeah, so after some back and forth, some FEMA aid
Were originally denied the come to this disaster recovery center, meet with FEMA and the small business
I don't know if that's the same one, but there is pretty bad flooding here too. I'm not sure if it was this from the same video. Yeah, dementia is not good. Hey, Vegemite Smile, good to see you. All right, I think we're going to wrap up, but I'm going to be back in about an hour. I'm not going to wait so late tonight because I don't have to because Trish is not on. So it'll probably be about an hour break and then I'll be back. Hey, who knows? We might get a verdict in that time. Probably not, but we can wish, right? So I'm going to go have a break. I'm going to be back in about an hour, and yeah, we'll get another show in the books a bit later on. Hey, I love you all very much. I hope you probably all had a long day doing the Daybell trial, that you're just very Daybelled out at this point. But come back. I'll dig up our next set of true crime, and we'll keep going. We'll keep going. I'm sure we'll have lots more to talk about. Hopefully, they'll tell us more about what they're going to do next in Samantha Murphy and trying to find her, and if the phone works or not. Here's another photo of that area yesterday. There's the area where they found the phone, and you can see how far the water level has dropped. Like, it's supposed to be up the top here where these policemen are standing, but it's dropped really far down. So it's probably why they wanted to search it again, because it had receded so much. It made it easier for them to search. So I'm not sure what's going on. Oh, it's good news. I'm glad that he got some better news and it's not dementia. I'm happy for you, Sherry. All right. I'll see you in about an hour, just 1 hour. And then, yeah, we'll do another set of true crime then. So, yeah, have a break. We'll come back. You can go visit Kresha if you want. And then we'll get to the late show after I get some lunch, okay? Peace out, everyone. Hey, I love you all so much. And thanks to all the new subscribers. We get great people subscribed to this channel. And come join us in chat. Are you one of these people that have just subscribed? Join in the chat over here. And come hang out with us for the late show. Peace out. Bye-bye.